ya. You must have snuck in when I wasn't looking. I'm joshing ya. Around these parts, I'm referred to as a jokester. Fair warning, there might be some giggles coming your way. Now, I know what you're thinking. She's a lady, and ladies aren't funny. And most of the time, I'd agree with you, but in this case, you're dead wrong. Dead wrong. So, what are these parts, you ask? Oh, I know you didn't actually ask anything, and I'm just going to do this play now, okay? Then you shut your pie hole! I've got 4 brothers, and each of them weighs 300 pounds, and they're an angry and violent bunch of Norwegians, and I'd watch those comments if I were you, okay? So, what are these parts, you ask? Oh, nothing special. Just a little town called Los Angeles. I'm joking! This is a town called Humbletown. Just a little town, nice folks in it. If you're a stranger, they're gonna wave and they're gonna smile, and some of them are gonna hug you real close. We don't think a lot about personal space here in Humbletown. That's what we call highfalutin. So let's see, what else do you need to know? We've got gypsum in the rock formations nearby. I don't really know what gypsum is, but I'm sure other people do. You probably don't care about rock formations. It's fine. I had a whole thing on rock formations, and now I'm not going to use it. Let it go, Jenny. Okay. So, how did Humbletown get its name? And how did it become the greatest, most awesome town in the universe? Oh, if you lined up all the towns, Humbletown would be so much better than all of them that it would tear out their hearts and eat them for breakfast. Oh, it's salsa, because that's how Humbletown rules. What was I talking about? Oh, how it came to be. Funny, you should ask. It was the Civil War, 18-something, in the middle. And the Empire was winning thanks to their new weapon, the Death Star. Anywho, and all of that, let's call it conflagration. And it all started with a lonely soldier.
Dearest Mom, it is hard on the front lines of this war. There isn't one decent bed in the state of Kentucky. And I don't think these people like me much. But there's one thing that keeps me going. Whiskey. And the thought of your sweet face. Giving me some whiskey. I've heard that war changes a man, but the only thing that's changed in me is the desire to come home to you in one piece, so that we might find a small plot of land, somewhere in Minnesota, maybe near some gypsum deposits, to call home. And I'd like to call it home with you. I don't fear death, though I see it all around me. There are some men that are afraid of truly being alive, and other men are afraid of this Death Star that we've heard so much about. Maybe I just don't have the brains to be scared. Probably because I was hit in the head a few times. But I remember you, Maud, and someday, I'll be coming to you. Oh, actually, it occurs to me that you may have married someone else. If that's the case, could you please deliver this letter to one of your sisters? I like them too. Yours in love, Humbleton P. Humblefolk.
Now, in those days, the mail was a lot more reliable than it is now. Then they had Saturday delivery. So that letter made it back home to Ohio, and as soon as the war was over, Humbleton and his love packed up their things and headed west to the magnificent Great Plains.
Oh, Humbleton, look at it. You can see forever.
You can indeed.
This land is so wonderful and plain and dull, just like our love.
Yes. Yes, it is. I've been meaning to talk to you about that, actually. I think we could...
I say we stop here. Build a house out of grasses.
We can't build a house out of grasses. We need a tree, dear.
And we'll find a tree. There has to be one here somewhere. Oh, Humbleton, it's everything I've always imagined it would be. Ordinary. Someday there's going to be a strip mall here, and maybe a truck stop, and a 4-lane highway with blacktop like an angel's calluses. Right here. Can you picture it?
I can picture anything with you, Maud.
Abigail. Maud married Jacob Dearborn.
Oh, doesn't matter.
That's what I've wanted to hear for so long. Oh, these Great Plains are fantastic. This must be where God got tired of putting interesting things and just tried to race to the finish.
Yep.
Do you wonder if the winters will be cold here in Minnesota?
Probably not. But if they are, our love will keep us warm.
And so, the first winter came.
Oh, jeez!
Oh, for crying out loud, what is going on here? What?
So cold. So cold!
Seriously, what in the name of all this holy is happening here? Enough, okay? Enough!
And that was October. Oh, luckily.
That's it! Get back here. You're done! Whoa. Better run! Dang it. Go! Oh.
So, they survived that first winter. Then, by the time April arrived,
It's still snowing! What is wrong with this place?
I'm going mad! Make it stop!
oh, sorry, by the time May arrived.
Oh, thank goodness the weather is finally going to...
By the time late May arrived,
We win! Woohoo! This is awesome! Oh, great idea! Let's call this place Awesome Place.
Awesome place?
It's got a great ring to it.
so they called this place Humbletown.
No. Wrong. All wrong. 1,000% wrong. Yet again, the story of Humbletown, butchered by young people. First of all, the Civil War wasn't that bad. All that running and fleeing and fighting, it was great cardio. Second of all, Humbleton didn't send a letter. Letters weren't invented yet. He sent his message the only way possible at the time.
Dearest Mom! This war isn't so bad! It's actually great cardio!
If Maud could hear the message from 100 miles away, good. If not, a postal worker would later scream the message at her, at a mailboxes, etc.
It was a UPS store.
No, it was a mailboxes, etc. And as for the so-called Death Star, well, that was accurate.
Do you have anything else to add, or may I continue?
Oh, I'm just getting warmed up. You see, Humbleton and Maud
Abigail!
decided it was time to grow their family.
Humbleton, I've decided it's time to grow our family.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, my sweet wife.
Do I need to spell it out?
That would be helpful.
B-A-B-I-E-S.
Oh, message received.
And so, Humbleton went about growing his family the only way he knew how.
One baby, please. Thank you. Also some canned meat. This is our son. In honor of the winter accessories that saved our lives, his name shall be Blanket. Okay, in honor of the Civil War, his name shall be Bayonet. Okay, in honor of my wife, his name shall be decided by my wife.
And thus began the life of Humbleton Humblefolk Jr.
Sorry.
It wasn't long, though, before the cost of childcare began to mount.
As your nursemaid, I will require these powders, balms, and salves, and a lot of cash.
As your food stomper, I will need yams, a bucket for stomping said yams, ample yam stomping room, and a lot of cash.
As your diaper disposaler, I will need all used diapers and a lot of cash.
It wasn't long before the humble folk knew they needed a lot of cash.
We need a lot of cash.
But how?
What if I invent something amazing and make it so people have to pay me to use that amazing thing?
Like what?
I don't know. What about a small oven that uses microscopic waves to more quickly cook food?
What are microscopic waves?
I don't know, it just sounded catchy. Here. Oh, what about a game where an orange ball is thrown into a basket for 3 hours?
No!
Okay. Well, I only have one other idea. You know how there's no way to indicate whether you're leaving or entering a room? Well, we could invent random words and gestures like, I don't know, hello or goodbye, or this thing I'm doing with my hand right now for the first time in my life. It could be an acknowledgement to the other person as I enter or leave the room. We can name this act after my old war buddy, Tom Salutation.
And so the salutation was born. Anytime anyone else's arrival or departure was acknowledged, it was considered a salutation, and a fee was collected for Humbleton.
Oh, hi, Trish.
Hey, man. I gotta run.
Oh, see you,
See ya,
man.
man.
Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon.
After that, Humbleton and Abigail and Junior were made in the shade.
Are you kidding me? He invented the word hello. Get out of here, I'm not giving you any money.
Now I understand that due to your youth and ignorance, you may not know the true story of Humbletown and I.
Okay, first of all, they didn't buy canned meat from the store. What store? How could there be a store if there were only 2 people in town?
Oh, so you're gonna start using logic to tell history. Good luck with that.
No, I'm going to use facts.
We're simple folk. We don't take kindly to facts around here.
Fact 1, you don't buy canned meat from the store. The canned meat fairy delivers it. Fact 2, babies come from love.
Bah!
It's true. And third, they did in fact get rich, but they got rich the American way.
Humbleton, we're going to need some serious money if we're going to make this family work.
I had a dream last night. Something called mortgage-backed security swaps. We basically invent a financial instrument the government can't regulate, then bet against our own investment by taking out hedges against...
But he didn't have time for that because...
Well, I don't know what I wouldn't have time for that, but what would?
Did you hear that? It sounded like a huge rumbling sound.
A huge rumbling sound? That's preposterous.
No, it is. It's definitely a rumbling sound. Let's crest that hill and see what it is.
This is southern Minnesota. There are no hills.
All right, fine. Let's just look that way.
And so they sound.
Shaggy horned beasts! Thousands upon thousands of them!
And they're all for us. I'll call them Jag Monsters.
How about buffalo?
Fine.
That's right. They made money the American way.
Abigail, fetch me my guns.
How many?
All of them.
by exploiting and destroying America's natural resources. And so, the years passed.
Husband, how was your day in the buffalo mine?
I keep thinking they're going to figure out they're getting shot.
How many did you shoot today?
4,391.
What are we going to do with them all?
Well, if we learned anything from the Native Americans, it's to use all of nature's bounty, not to waste it. That's why I've piled up all the buffalo carcasses in town to make them into bricks.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love you, Humbleton.
And I love you, Abigail. It's Abigail, right?
Right. It smells bad here.
And so, Humbleton and Abigail grew older and older, but exciting times were in store for Humbletown, because now that the way had been cleared and enormous buildings had been made from buffalo bricks, the stage was set for Industrialization! And it all started with a young man named Humbleton Jr.
Golly gee, I've got it.
What is it, Humbleton Jr.?
Yeah, tell us.
You know, sometimes you spill milk and have a hard time cleaning it up.
I sure do. How'd you use the buffalo corpse to soak up the milk? They're absorbent.
But isn't that inconvenient?
They do weigh 800 pounds. My back sure is hurting.
Friends, I give you the ShamWow.
Gosh, what does it do?
What does it do? Did you just ask me what does it do? I'll tell you. This is ShamWow. You're gonna be saying wow every time you use it. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge. A regular towel doesn't work dry. ShamWow works dry. You get a spill, it cleans it up. You get a small stream, plug. You get a swamp creature attacking you, kills it. ShamWow. Did I already say ShamWow? Yeah. I did. I know what you're saying. What if a shark falls out of the air and on top of me? How's this gonna help? It will. One pass over a shark's skin, shark dries out, shark dies horribly. And you could still go back to your milk spill, and it's not gonna drip. Bring it out, put it in a washing machine, it's ready to kill another shark. What other towel's gonna do that? You're gonna be saying wow every time.
Wow. Where can we get it?
Get it? You're gonna make them in my factories.
Soon. All the citizens of Humbletown were employed in the dangerous, extremely complicated, and intricate construction of the nation's ShamWows.
Humbleton Jr., we've been friends since we were 4 years old, right?
Absolutely. And that's why I want you to call me Mr. Junior.
Mr. Jr.? Would it be possible for me to get a raise or possibly work in less dangerous conditions?
Well, let's see, that would be possible except for the fact that I've taken your parents hostage and I'm forced them to work in my ShamWow mines.
I don't see how that has to do with anything.
That was a big threat. And if you don't want me to start making specific threats, I suggest we drop this narrative.
But it was too late.
My fellow workers, let's organize.
It's just me. Then you and me. Let's organize. Like a marriage?
No, more like a union.
That's kind of like a marriage.
No, it's... Shut up. Just say what I say. Strike.
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 What's a strike?
Just repeat after me. Strike.
I don't get it.
And so, 3 years later, the first union was formed.
No, 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 no. Wrong again. The conditions were dismal and pay was low, but they liked it that way. In fact, Humbleton Jr. tried doubling wages, but the workers declined because even more fun than money or breathable air was reason to complain.
That is simply false.
See, you just complained. You can thank your forefathers for that. Do it. Thank your forefathers for the complaining you just did.
Thank you, forefathers.
No, the workers didn't strike at all. They did, however, get together during their allotted 6-minute lunch break to play the game they invented, Complain Ball.
We are back.
What a game so far, Jebediah. What a game.
You said it, Abernathy. Now let's jump right back in the action.
These working conditions are awful. And did I mention the pain in my lower back?
Oh, no matter how many times I sweep the leaves off my buffalo roof, they just keep showing up again.
I am just sick of having to pay a fee every single time I say hello.
What remarkable complaining! These players really are at the top of their game.
No question about it. This is some of the best complaining that I have ever seen. And that's saying something given my wife.
Misogyny will always be funny.
They called complaint ball America's pastime. That is, until the invention of better sports led for better pastimes. Fact is, complaint ball was poorly conceived, and I hated it. It was the worst. Oh, this trophy is heavy. That cheering is loud. I hate you all. Enough! Quiet! Now back to the story. After every long, grueling day at the ShamWow factory, the workers would all gather round at the local watering holes. They were called watering holes because it is there that everyone poured water into their face holes.
Barkeep, water's for everyone. On me.
Hooray!
And as for myself, I'll have your finest water served neat with a water chestnut garnish.
H2O teeny coming right up. But, Jessie, I thought you were barely scraping by.
Let's just say it was a good bet that my favorite complaint ball team won today, and that I'd wager now that I have some extra cash.
You caught a foul ball that had some extra money stuffed inside of it.
You're not very good at basic comprehension, are ya?
Nope.
Raise your glass, everyone. A toast. Even though working conditions are the worst they've ever been, and even though our town reeks of decayed buffalo, we can always drown our sorrows in a colorless, tasteless liquid.
Hooray!
Yes, it was a beautiful time when water flowed like water. But all of that was about to change.
Extra, extra. Government prohibits all consumptions of water, effective at 6 o'clock.
All right, people, listen up. Starting now and for the foreseeable future, water and anything related to water cannot be purchased, sold, or consumed. That means rainwater, pond water, well water, waterfall water, spring water, and anything with water in the name. And you best believe that includes watermelons.
On whose authority?
City Hall's authority. Any other questions?
On whose authority?
So, if you have water of any kind, now is the time to deposit such contraband into this receptacle. Otherwise, you'll be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Is that everybody? Carl.
This ain't over, Chief.
Oh, it's over when I say it's over. Okay, now it's over.
This was the beginning of the time period commonly known as Vepration. The city government decided that water was evil. They called it the devil's drool. And the world without water was a dry world indeed. Very, very unmoist.
Kids, it's time to brush your teeth. But how? We don't have any water. Use this tree sap.
Can we go swimming tomorrow? I want to do a cannonball.
The pool has been closed and drained. Instead, you can jump into the next best thing.
What's that, Daddy?
A pile of rotting buffalo carcasses.
Yay!
But the people wouldn't give up so easily. The abolition of water opened up a new world of water-based crimes.
Come. You want Dasani? I got Dasani. I got some real nice Dasani right here. $50? 2 for 80. You know what? I can tell you've got a discerning palate, so I'm gonna crack out the good stuff. Distilled. 100% pure. You wanna smell this sweet baby? I don't even care what you do with it. You wanna pour it over your face? Be my guest. You wanna dip your hands in it and just wash them? I'm not judging you. I was never here.
And it was just the beginning. Water bootlegging started cropping up everywhere, with speakeasies taking the town by storm. The most infamous speakeasy, of course, was the Midnight at the Oasis.
Password.
Not the police.
You may enter.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're not the police, are you?
No.
Terrific. In that case, let me show you the city's best speakeasy. Midnight at the Oasis.
Midnight at the Oasis.
How about I give you the grand tour? Barkeep, tell her what's on tap.
Here at Midnight at the Oasis.
Midnight at the Oasis.
We serve everything your dried out heart desires. You want tap water? We got it. You want lemon puree? Done. You want that water with the gross aftertaste that sometimes comes out of public water fountains? Oh yeah. And no matter what you order, we always water it down. And if you want bottled water, talk to this guy.
Evian.
And over here, you'll see a delightful relic from the pre-evaporation days. This is called a water cooler, and it's where everybody gathers to gossip. And finally, over here, you'll find Ducky and his fish.
Yeah, fishy, fishy, fish, fish.
And that's the end of the tour. I hope you enjoy yourself here at Midnight at the Oasis.
Midnight at the Oasis.
Where we've gone 50 days without a police raid. And here, on the house, a jug of river water.
This is by far the best speakeasy in town. I hope it never gets shut down by the police.
Password.
Police.
Did you say police or not the police?
The former.
You may enter.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to definitely not a speakeasy. This here's the best non-speakeasy in town. How about I give you the grand tour? Barkeep, tell her what's on tap.
You got it. Here at Definitely Not a Speakeasy. We serve everything your heart desires, assuming it's mustard. You want Dijon? We got it. You want honey mustard? Done. And if you want specialty brands, talk to this guy.
Poupon.
And over here, you'll find our gossip hat rack. And finally, over here, you'll find Ducky and his banana.
Yeah, fishy, fish, fish, fish.
And that's the end of the tour. I hope you enjoy yourself here at Definitely Not a Speakeasy, where we've gone 50 days without a police raid.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing at all, nothing at all. Have some mustard.
Well, I will say one thing. Well, this is definitely not a speakeasy.
Hooray!
And so it went, where speakeasy was king, with every gallon being supplied by a mystical creature called the Water Fairy.
As usual, old person, your history has an iota of truth, but is mostly poppycock.
Poppycock? Poppycock!
Poppycock, I say.
I'm the only one allowed to use funny old-fashioned words.
Not anymore. In today's society, young people can use the same homespun sayings as old people.
I don't like today's society. Never have.
Tough. Now, I'd like to correct a few of the delusions you've just foisted on this innocent-looking audience.
They're not so innocent. Look at that one.
Right. Okay, you're right about that one. Oh, but the rest of them look okay. You're so wrong about evaporation. It wasn't the city government or the police who started it. It was this lady. Hold this country!
Greetings, America! My name is Hulda, and I am on the warpath.
You see, Hulda wasn't one of those stereotypical frontier women who led lives of quiet desperation.
No.
No, she was an axe-wielding sociopath.
I will remake this country in my image. First thing I'm going to do is outlaw the water.
Look, lady, this whole I'm gonna take over thing you're doing is cute, but let's face facts. You're a woman. You have no influence here. We're not going to listen to you at all.
Yeah.
What he said.
Girl, scare us.
We have a treehouse.
Oh, I am sorry, Mr. Police Chief. I forgot my place.
Quite all right. Happens from time to time. Your husband may need to spank you, though.
Oh, sure. Or, I am the axes and I am in charge now!
Run away!
Soon, Hulda had scared every police department into eliminating water, starting right here in Humbletown.
And that's when the bootlegging started.
Yes, I was getting to that. That's when organized crime began.
I never said they were organized.
Well, they were. And the supplier wasn't the Water Fairy. The supplier was Jessie.
Caca! All right, goons. Let's see tonight's take and make it snappy.
Sorry, I'm a literalist.
All right, boss. We got 2 bits from the bathhouse, another 1,000 from the church, 2 grand from the orphanage, another 16 from the water park, and this rubber ducky.
What?
Apparently someone gave us a rubber ducky. I'm not really sure. I think it's kind of cute, actually.
Who gave us the duck?
Oh, all right, you beat it out of me.
I wasn't actually going
No,
to.
stop, please, I'll talk.
We're actually
I'll
on the
talk.
same side.
There's a guy. He's on the outskirts of town. He's on his own floor of an entire hotel. Kind of looks like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who's Leonardo DiCaprio?
He invented the Mona Lisa.
We went to get our payment from him. Says he wants you to come in person. Hands me the rubber ducky. Laughs maniacally. I said I don't appreciate maniacal laughter. You know what he does? He starts giggling. Real creepy like. So I says to him, where I come from, giggling ain't appreciated. And you know what he does? He starts chuckling. Real softly. Barely audible, but it's there. Also looked to be holding a weapon of some kind. Couldn't be sure on account of the fact that he's got the shades drawn and red light bulbs. But it looked to be a howitzer.
A what? An artillery device somewhere between a gun and a motor. The typical howitzer has a barrel length around 15 to 25 times its caliber. At least, that's the word on the street.
I don't like the sound of this.
It's a German word. Nobody likes the sound of them.
No, I mean about the creepy millionaire hiding out in a hotel, cradling a piece of artillery.
I wouldn't say cradling. It was more of a sensual stroke. More like massaging, actually.
Would petting be a fair characterization?
Yeah, you could say petting, but I think caressing might be the better term, though.
Shut up! I'm going alone.
I'd take you with me, but it's far too dangerous.
Sounds good.
No, I was just saying that. I'd like some backup.
I'm sorry, it's far too dangerous.
I've got 3 wives to support.
You got 3 wives?
It's not as fun as it sounds.
And so, Jessie made her way to the outskirts of town and soon found her way to the 14th floor of the hotel.
So you come.
I got your Ducky. I didn't think it was funny.
It was meant to be ironic.
I didn't find it to be ironic either.
That in itself is ironic.
Shut up! Everybody in this town pays my gang for water, and you're gonna do the same.
I don't need your water. You know why?
You know what this is? It's a ShamWow. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge. A regular towel can't absorb this much moisture. I don't even shower. I put the ShamWow over my head. I twist in my hands while I rotate slowly. I'm almost entirely clean. I put the ShamWow on the floor, rub it all over my body. I'm dry. I take the ShamWow, bring it out to a cup. It's a refreshing drink. I say wow every time.
Wow. Humbleton Jr.?
That was my name once.
It's me, Jessie.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I used to love you.
You did?
Yes.
Jessie?
Yes.
Don't look at me. I'm hideous.
No, you're just a little gross.
It's too late for me now. It's just me and the chamois.
Put down the towel.
You don't understand. It's not just a towel. It's not just a chamois. It's better than that.
Humbleton Jr., snap out of it.
My mother didn't love me. My father didn't love me. So I turn to this. I hold it. I hug it. It's like it's hugging me back. Like a lover. Except better than that. Because it's absorbing my moisture.
Even though Humbleton Jr. was sorta gross, Jessie's love for him couldn't be denied. So they joined forces and soon were married. They had twins, a boy and a girl, whom they named Humbleton III and Humblebee.
Stop that.
Sorry.
As the illegal bootlegged water money kept pouring in, the Humblefolk family continued to enjoy their great wealth for the next 2 years.
No, wrong again. They didn't enjoy their great wealth for 2 years. They enjoyed it for 2 hours, because that's exactly how long it took for the city government to get jealous of the organized crime revenue they weren't receiving, which led to them ending the evaporation, which led to the end of the Humblefolk family income stream, which somehow led to the greatest period of poverty in town history. Because it was such a depressing time, with such economic and emotional depression, they called it the Great Saddy Saddy Sad Time.
All the money is gone! I used to eat ice cream cones with sprinkles on top. Now I eat dirt cones with dirt on top.
All the money is gone. I used to go horseback riding every day. Now I just ride this cat.
All the money is gone. We used to vacation at our second home along the river. Now our second home is gone and we vacation inside this box.
So sad.
Times were so bad, the government set up bread lines to feed the needy. Unfortunately, the townsfolk quickly grew bored with bread, so they replaced it with expired Halloween candy.
Next. Okay, you've got your choice of 3-year-old snow caps or 5-year-old jujubes.
No Mike and Ike's?
No Mikes and Ikes.
No!
This truly is a great sad time.
Those were dark days with old dark chocolate. But these folk were resilient folk.
Well, look on the bright side. At least we have water.
Water? Water? I don't want your stupid water. I want my sweet mass-produced candies.
Now you listen to me, you whippersnapper. Back in my day, we didn't have any of this legal water that you take for granted. We had sand and dirt and we liked it. I didn't so much as sniff a bath for 9 years. People used to faint when I came nearby. Which is how I met your mother, but that's neither here nor there. But my point is, no matter what happens now, I used to have it worse. Which makes me feel good in a strange sort of way, kind of like I'm superior to you.
You're right, Dad. But hey, if I ever have children...
You can feel superior to them by telling them how bad you had it.
Thanks.
Now let's go walk uphill both ways to school.
Do you think there might be a snowstorm?
Oh, honey, not only will there be a snowstorm when we tell this story, we'll be mauled by a pack of wolves.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Lorraine. Hey, what's the after school? We go steal some of your blood plasma.
Sure.
Yes, the great sad time affected everyone. More than just financially, though. It also affected their mood.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Bob.
How are you doing today?
I stare into the abyss, Bob. Yourself?
Joe, the abyss is staring into me.
Yup. Might rain soon.
Probably be a rain of fire.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, did you hear about somebody I used to know?
What about him?
They died.
Lucky.
Yup.
Are you kidding me?
I don't kid. It's a luxury I can't afford.
It was called the Depression.
You know what your problem is? The cell phone. Sends cell waves into your brain and causes damage. That's why the kids today aren't as good as the kids as yesterday. Why, I remember them clearly.
You don't remember anything. And I get my information from the internet.
Never heard of it.
And from public schooling.
Ah, there's your problem. If you knew anything, you'd know that a depression is a small downward sloping area of land. Stupid young people.
It was called the Depression, and it was caused by a banking collapse.
How can a bank collapse? That's ridiculous.
And when the banks collapsed, people lost their life savings. Oh, especially here in Humbletown, where they had mostly invested in the banks.
Get your bank in here, get your bank in here, Bank of Chuck. Be a part of the most awesome bank in the universe.
Hey, that bank sounds cool. I'm young and don't have critical thinking skills.
Good thing I never went to school and got indoctrinated.
I can't even spell school.
Everyone's doing it. You're not cool if you don't put your money in my bank.
What's that you say? I'm not cool if I don't put my money in your bank?
All right, then let's do it.
And in turn, the banks took the money they got and...
I've got a sulfur mine on the moon. I've got a sulfur mine on the moon.
I'll take a piece of that action.
By the way, I forgot to mention that I'm insane.
So funny story, everyone. There were some poor decisions that were made, and the good thing about money is it's all imaginary anyways, so I want you to imagine that you have some, because you probably don't anymore. I'm moving to Brazil.
Let's kill the bankers!
Yeah! Hold on. Are we missing who the real villains are here? Poor people and immigrants.
Let's kill the poor people and immigrants!
I don't mean to be problematic here, but aren't we the poor people now?
Let's kill the immigrants!
Yeah!
Aren't we immigrants too?
Dang it.
And so, the people settled into a deep depression.
Malarkey!
Don't you dare malark me?
Malarkey, I say malarkey. The townsfolk did find someone to blame for their troubles. All they needed was a scapegoat. And by a scapegoat, I'm referring to this guy.
So I just stand here and...
There he is!
Get him! This is for my cellulite!
Yeah!
And so they needed a new scapegoat.
What if we blamed everything on blue-eyed people?
No, that's hard to tell from a distance. We need something you can see from a little, farther away.
I just wish there was some group of people that we could blame. That would make all of our failures much more palatable.
I love the way you think, Andre.
I've got it. You there. Fetch me a soapbox to stand on.
We don't sell soap in boxes. We sell soap in these burlap sacks.
Fine, then hand me that soap sack.
Here you go. Oh.
Everyone, gather around. I'm about to yell something.
Do you hear that? A guy's about to yell something.
Seems like a good reason to gather.
Good people, I have had it up to here with this sad time. Or some of the dumber people call it this depression. Now, if I could use one adjective to describe said depression, I'd call it depressing. But that's sort of implied, so I'll call it upsetting.
It is upsetting.
Thank you. I'm glad you agree. Now, it's fair to say that we shouldn't blame all of our problems on the poor, and we shouldn't blame all of our problems on the immigrants. No, our problems all stem from one group of people, and that one group of people is...
Kittens!
No, not kittens. Kittens aren't a group of people, and they're blameless. What's wrong with you?
Oh, Jimmy, cancel the anti-kitten rally.
No. The group of people that is the source of all of our problems are, of course... the unshaven! Good people. For too long, these bestubbled miscreants have been thorns in our side. Since the dawn of hair, only 3 occupations have been suitable for the bearded and mustachioed. Excuse me, little girl. Can you tell the good people which 3 occupations are exclusively held by the unshaven?
Old-timey war generals, gold prospectors, and evil villains?
That's exactly right. Old-timey war generals, gold prospectors, and evil villains. So that's been the case since the dawn of hair. Why is Doug here a house painter?
Hi there.
Or why is Edgar a milkman?
Howdy.
Or why is April a bearded lady in the local circus?
Morning.
These are good jobs traditionally held by good, hardworking, clean-shaven Americans that have now been stripped away by these hirsute interlopers.
Hi, do you have another one of those soap sacks?
Here you go.
Ooh. Hi, everybody. I couldn't help but overhear a few unkind words being spoken about my shaggy brethren.
You heard right. You people are the worst. You've been plotting to slowly and covertly overtake the rest of us. It's folly cabal.
I do believe that's facial discrimination.
You're darn right it's facial discrimination. Stubble means trouble.
Could you just give me one example of stubble meaning trouble?
One example? What about the face riots?
The face riots. Isn't that just Gloria occasionally knocking over a bucket for no good reason?
You see, facial tensions are higher today than they've ever been.
All we're asking for is facial equality without facial discrimination or facial profiling. The last thing we want is war on face.
Just shave. Now that the evaporation is over, you now have access to ample water and water-based creams. You can just simply do away with your beards and mustaches and Van Dykes and soap patches and mutton chops. That Fu Manchu is a Fu Man choice. Now, I will ask you the question the world needs to know. What are you hiding under there?
We're not hiding anything. We just like how it looks and our spouses and children like how it feels, see?
That's just gross.
All we're asking for is facial equality.
Well, you're not gonna get it. Officer Stevens, arrest that man!
Hi there.
You can't be serious.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt what looks like a friendly discussion among townsfolk that no way involves misguided hatred. Andre, I haven't seen you at my barber shop for your weekly shave for over 6 months now. What happened?
I found a new barber, Rodney.
I'm the only barber in town. What's going on, Andre? I don't understand how it's possible that you haven't shaved in 6 months, yet your face is smoother than smooth jazz. Hubbub.
Well, I can't take this anymore!
Mr. Andre, what's that on your face?
Good people, I have a confession to make. I am an unshaven.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels, and I like combing it like this.
Mama, make it stop.
Oh, little girl, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry to all of you. I'm a hypocrite. Oh, I had no reason to live.
Andre! Do you know what you need, Andre?
What's that?
A beard hug.
And so that was the beginning and end of what the?
Oh, for Pete's sake, they're frozen.
What?
Oh, this is called intermission.
Intermission? What do you need an intermission for? In my day, we sat down and we watched the